You know, there's something about that phrase, land of kings, isn't there? It just immediately paints a picture.
It really does. Grandeur, history.
Exactly. And that's where we're going today, Rajasthan. So our plan, like always, is to take this huge, fascinating place and really boil it down for you, get to the heart of it.
Yeah, cut through the noise so you walk away feeling like you've got a real handle on it without needing to spend weeks reading up.
We've looked at the big picture, sources geography, the deep history, that amazing culture, even its modern economy.
Right. And we're here to pull out those key insights, the things that make Rajasthan, well, Rajasthan. What makes it stand out?
Okay, let's dive right in then. Maybe start with the basics, setting the scene.
Good idea. So the capital is Jaipur. You've probably heard of it, the Pink City.
Ah, yes, the Pink City. And what's really interesting, something that caught my eye straight away, it was India's first planned city.
That's right, which is pretty remarkable when you think about the time period. Real foresight in urban design there.
Definitely. And when did Rajasthan actually become a state?
The state as we know it today was formed on March 30th, 1949. And the main languages you'll hear are Hindi and Rajasthani.
Okay. And where exactly is it situated? Borders Pakistan.
It does, yeah. An international border to the west with Pakistan. And then it's surrounded by Indian states, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Gujarat. So a pretty significant strategic spot.
A big area. And of course, the Thar Desert is a huge feature.
Absolutely. The Great India Desert.
Yeah.
And that geography combined with its history as, Rajputan, or the land of the Rajputs, really shapes its character. A land of kings, like you said, but also a land historically defined by conflict and resilience.
Land of kings literally means that, doesn't it, Rajasthan?
It does. And it's not just a name. The Rajput rulers had these incredibly long reigns, really shaping the region over centuries.
And we're talking about some major historical figures here.
Definitely. People like Maharana Pratap, his story, especially the Battle of Haldagadi, is just legendary. It became this potent symbol of Rajput resistance against Mughals.
A story that still resonates today, I imagine.
Deeply. And then you have figures like Maharaja Sawai Jai Singh, not just a ruler, but likely interested in astronomy, architecture, but much more than just governance.
So multifaceted leaders.
Exactly. And there are others too, like Rochunda, Rana Sanga, Rojezal. Each adds another layer to this really complex, long history.
It paints a picture of a place constantly being shaped by these powerful personalities and, pretty major events.
Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly peaceful, was it?
Far from it. There were constant conflicts, not just internally, but with the expanding Mughal Empire, and then later dealing with the British East India Company and the British Raj.
Right. That kind of pressure cooker history must have forged a really unique identity.
I think so. And you can almost feel that history when you look at the architecture. The forts and palaces there are just staggering.
They're more than just buildings, aren't they? They're like storytellers in stone.
Precisely. Take a Mer Fort near Jaipur or Marangar Fort towering over Jodhpur. Each one is just magnificent and tells a different story.
And Chittagong Fort, that one seems particularly significant. It's huge, for starters.
It is. Reportedly the largest fort in Asia, actually. But it's also imbued with this incredibly powerful, almost tragic symbolism.
You mean the practice of jauhar?
Yes. The mass self-immolation by women to avoid capture. It's a very stark reminder of the stakes involved in those historical conflicts and the kind of, bravery and desperation they face.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredibly poignant.
And beyond Chittagong, you've got the beautiful city palace in Udaipur, right on the lake, and Jaisalmer Fort.
Ah, the one made of yellow sandstone. It almost glows, apparently.
It does. It gives it such a unique character. And, Rajasthan has a remarkable number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, specifically these hill forts, 6 of them, I believe.
6, wow. That really speaks to their global importance.
Absolutely. They weren't just defenses. They were centers of power, culture, entire communities living within the wall sometimes.
Okay, so we've got this backdrop of incredible history and architecture, but let's talk about the living culture. It sounds incredibly vibrant.
Oh, it really is. It's not just a museum piece. The folk traditions are alive and well. Think about the dances. Ghumar is probably the most famous.
Right, I've heard of Ghumar.
And Kalbilia, the serpent dance. Very distinct styles. And the music is just mesmerizing. You have communities like the Manganyar and the Langa who are hereditary musicians.
Keeping those traditions going for generations.
Exactly. Passing down stories and melodies through music.
And the clothing is so iconic, too. The bright colors.
Yeah, the Gagra Choli for women, those beautiful swirling skirts, and the pagdis, the turbans for men. The style of the turban can tell you a lot, actually, about where someone's from or their community.
Fascinating. And the festivals must be quite something. Pushkar Mela.
The Pushkar Camel Fair, yes, huge event, but also religious festivals like Gangar and Tej and the Desert Festival in Jaisalmer. They're explosions of color and tradition.
It sounds amazing. And the crafts. I know Rajasthan is famous for handicrafts.
Definitely. Things like bandhani, that intricate tie-dye technique, and the blue pottery from Jaipur is very distinctive.
Oh, right. The blue and white pottery.
Yes, and Meenakari, the enamel work on jewelry and objects.
Yeah.
And of course, the Rajasthani puppets, the Kathputli. So much skill and artistry.
So much richness there. Now let's shift gears slightly to the landscape. Obviously, the Thar Desert looms large.
It does. Camel safaris, sleeping under the stars in the dunes. That's a classic Rajasthan experience. Sand dunes near Jaisalmer are very popular for that.
But it's not all desert, is it?
No, not at all. That's the interesting thing. You've got places like Ranthambore National Park.
Tiger territory?
Exactly. One of the best places in India to potentially spot tigers. So a vital wildlife sanctuary.
A big contrast to the desert.
And then you have Mount Abu, which is surprisingly Rajasthan's only hill station.
Really? A hill station?
Yep. Cooler climate, lakes, temples. Offers a completely different vibe. And places like Pushkar Lake, with the famous Brahma Temple, have huge religious and cultural significance too.
It's a land of real contrasts then. History, culture, desert, forest, even hills.
It truly is. And all this, the history, the culture, the diverse landscapes, feeds into its economy today.
Right, because it's not just living in the past. What are the key industries now?
Well, tourism is huge, as you can imagine. It's a massive draw. But also textiles, those handicrafts we mentioned, and agriculture are important.
And minerals too, I read.
Yes, it's quite rich in minerals like gypsum, limestone for cement, and marble. Makrana marble, famous for being used in the Taj Mahal,
Sure.
comes from Rajasthan.
Oh, okay. But tourism really is a major driver.
A rapidly growing one, definitely.
Yeah.
It connects the past to the present economy.
So just to recap some of those really standout points. Jaipur, India's first planned city. That's quite a fact.
It is. Shows early innovation. And Chittagong Fort, just the scale of it, being the largest in Asia.
Hard to even picture.
And that high number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, those forts especially, really highlighting its global significance.
Absolutely. So wrapping this up, what's the big picture takeaway?
I think it's this image of Rajasthan as, yes, the land of kings, deeply steeped in history, but also bursting with this living, vibrant culture set against a backdrop of really unique and contrasting landscapes.
A place where history isn't just in books, it's kind of everywhere you look.
Exactly. And hopefully our chat has given you a solid feel for what makes it so special without, getting lost in endless dates and names.
Yeah, a good foundation. It feels much more approachable now.
It's a region where that past, that history of resistance and royalty feels very present.
Considering that deep history, all the conflict, but also that incredible resilience, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? How did those centuries of experience continue to shape Rajasthan's identity and its future today, maybe in ways we don't even immediately see?
That's a great question to ponder. How does that legacy play out now? Something to think about.